thought it was good time for an update. It's been, I don't know, a few days since I last come out and did much. We've had loads of trouble. That's got to be the phrase I've used most, I think, through this build. Having lots of trouble, but we are getting there. So, what we got? The new tyres are on. Whoop. So that's good. Little win. One of my jobs was to re-drill where the new skin comes through here. There was a few arch fittings that needed to be put on, so they've been done. Lots of mucking about with the throttle bodies, getting them ready. There's been loads of learning curves there going on. Still got to sort out the idle control valve, because this is a Euro 3 car and the Euro 2 cars, and therefore the vehicle this would have been on has a 5-pin completely different stepper motor for the idle control, and therefore I thought, okay, I'll modify my current idle control valve to sit over the port, block the other port up. That'll work. No, why? Because as far as I can tell, the Emerald ECU doesn't have the option for a 4-pin. It only has the option for a 5-pin, a 2-pin, or a 3-pin. So that's going to need looking at again. Loads of suppliers from eBay just let me down with wrong equipment. I bought an idle control valve from a Rover V8, which has got this connector on it and that type of fitting, and it turned up and it was completely different. So we'll see if that ever transpires to be a fix or not. What else have we got? A little bit of a weep on my header tank. Not much, but a little bit, which is annoying, so I've got to get another one of them. But big news. After sorting out some communications leads with Emerald, my car now starts and runs. And I've got the car set up on the PC. So, theory, we should get it running. I think he's going to run for a second. So that's good. Got a little leak on the exhaust gasket, which is fine, because if you ever get one of these 4-to-1 exhausts, you'll see that that's a bolt down there that needs tightening up on the bottom of the headers there, and right in the middle of the shot there's a bolt that's not tightened up. Why? Because I haven't found anything yet that I can get in there, and I've pretty much got a spanner for everything, and I can't get down in there to tighten that up. So for the minute I thought we'd before I get involved in trying to turn that a quarter at a time to tighten it up, that we'd get everything else up and running, and then we'll go from there. So either way, it's Friday and we've got a running car. It feels pretty good. I've got to do a little bit of trimming on the timing for idle and stuff, which is why the laptop's out, why it's a little bit lumpy. But we'll get there for that. So what else? So we went through MOT checks because we're getting to that kind of time. I thought, I'll go along and check my fog lights. My fog light switch seems to have it works, but there's nothing coming out of it. So, but I've got a few other switches. The heated windscreen one doesn't completely locate properly, and the same with some of them just don't seem to operate correctly, like they've never been used, and therefore have seized up. So I've got some new ones coming on, and I've got to do an inspection into why the fog light's not working. What else? My speedo's not working either. We've had that up in the air. I think the sensor's goosed, probably because of the impact on the accident. The sensor and its fittings, well, the fitting for the sensor was sheared, so that's going to need sorting out. But yeah, starting to feel a bit more positive. Yeah, my new wheel arch racing wing stays, these bad boys here, should be here maybe tomorrow. So I'm going to have to look at getting these wings off of these ones, and the new wing stays on, which is a pain in the bum. But yeah, so it's all good. That's it for now. Speak to you later on. Everybody. Well, we're getting there. Slowly, slowly, slowly. So we now have a stripe on the car. Go front to back, back to front. It's all good.
If anyone's doing this themselves,
Make sure you got a heat gun, I would say. The nose, because of the fall away of the nose lines, you need to be able to heat it. It's like if you do wraps, it's the same kind of thing. You need to be able to just heat it, shrink it down in the right places to get it to work. But we're getting very close to a test drive. Very close. So suspension's been reset up, so now the spring's no longer coiled up too tight. Loads of stuff's going on, so the shift lights going, ready to go. So I've got a few poppers to put on, a few bits to polish. I've got to set up the suspension height, which is going to be our next job. Still haven't got a speedo output sensor. So this is the Caterham sensor here in the vise. As you can see, it's had some surgery, albeit rather rough looking surgery. So normally there's a sort of raised section here, and there's two little resistors in it. I don't know if I've got them on the bench. That tiny little resistor there, or most of the resistor, if it will focus. So there's two of those bad boys housed in it, and where the impact had come along, it actually crimped the wires right inside the sleeve. So no surprise when it wasn't working, and when I started to look into it and pulled the sleeve in backwards, the cables just fell out. So so I cut that gently, took the back of that off to reveal the pins coming out from the sensor inside, but I haven't got any. I have somewhere got a resistor set, but I've not seen it in a long time. I'm not sure if I've got rid of it because I've never used it. So for the meanwhile, I've soldered on two temporary tails onto the sensor, and the plan will be, once this plastic repair adhesive sets, they should be pretty well. I'll give it another going over again, and then we can just put some inline resistors on here, and we'll sleeve it and then amalgamate tape over that, and then I can have a working speedo. But for the meanwhile, that's what mobile phones are for. So I'll have to just set something up so I can gauge my speed. It's not, as far as I know, it's not on the MOT checklist. So I mean, it's all covered in glue and stuff and mess. Under the bonnet's pretty much ready to go as far as it is going to be. I mean, I'd like to make a new loom for it, but for the meanwhile, that's ready. All the seats are now fitted finally, so they're not going anywhere. So yeah, hopefully in a minute you'll see it running. Catch you a bit. Oh guys, I think we're ready to go for MOT. Where is Iran? I've checked all the lights, doors are on, checked over, plates are on. So take her in a minute, see if she'll pass. There's only one job I know I've got to do left. Let's put the stickers on this side, and I'll do that later on the day. But for the minute, she's ready to go. But I will give her a good clean because she's covered in glue, doing the stickers, polishing all sorts. But ticket first, test drive, then clean. There's no point if we have trouble cleaning it up too much, because it'll only get dirty again sitting around waiting for whatever we've got to fix. If we've got to fix anything. Wish me luck. Hi guys, so a quick update. I'll put it in the garage in a second, but she's been for MOT today and passed, which is great news. since I've been out on a test drive. We've done 14 odd miles. It runs really good, no major problems. Third's a little bit of a tricky gear, you have to be a bit forceful with it, so at some point we'll have to take that out. But for the moment, this is running good, and no problems with oil pressure or cooling. It's all very much normal. Power wise, I wouldn't say it feels massively powerful, so I think it's going to be quite an improvement when it gets on the rollers. But I was going to go and put it in this hole, but it's too much muck and it's too late, so I could start tomorrow. I'm going to tidy all this up. So I've still got to wash it, detail it and polish it and do all the car things to finalise it, but mechanically at least we are where we need to be. This is good news. Good news indeed. And luckily, or not, it went to the MOT, passed, and then within about 2 minutes after the MOT, the indicator stopped working. Fiddled with some wiring under the dash and it came on, but at least a lot of the time you take it to the MOT and then suddenly something stops working while you're there. But not so. Anyway, I'll do another video in a second.